everyone. Welcome to 30-Minute Yoga on Thursday, December 3rd. Making sure you've got room, you've got your mat. Today I have a block and also a strap. If you have a strap, we'll use it in some of our stretching. If you don't have a strap, a towel can be used as well. So something that's got a little bit of length to it, or you roll up a towel, a bath towel maybe. So if you want to go and grab one, but you don't need to. And we're going to do the beginning of our class standing in mountain pose. So if you really need to lay down and start your class in Shavasana, please make your way there. I'm just trying to do some different things. So you can be standing at the top or the side of your mat. It doesn't matter. Just making sure as we settle into this first position, we get comfortable with our feet. So maybe lifting up your toes and pressing down one at a time, just so that we can get connection with all 5 toes on each foot. And then just press a little bit side to side with your feet. So your arches and the outside of your feet. And then that connection with your heels. And we start to take in breaths that are a little longer, a little deeper. And we'll continue to work through the different areas of our body, just making sure as we are standing in our mountain pose, Tadasana, we're aligned. We've got our neck pulled back slightly. We tend to do a forward lean and a jut out with our chin. So let's pull back just a little bit. Have those shoulders over your hips. Your knees have a micro bend. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead. It may cause you to lose your balance or get a little bit feeling a little dizzy. So maybe just a very soft gaze with your eyes down onto the floor. Palms are facing forward, nothing forced, just a natural. And then relax those fingers. They might curl up a little bit. We don't have those elbows locked. They're also soft. And again, after we make any adjustments we need to, we start focusing inward on our breathing, how it feels, how it sounds, in through the nose, out through the nose, and whatever's going on in your environment, you can try to put it away. Any cares from the morning, any sounds from your housemates, whether they be people or pets. Any sounds inside or outside of your home. Just try to draw inward. Again, if you need to, just expand those feet or those fingers at any time. Reconnect to the floor. You can always put one hand on the chest and one on the abdomen as you're doing the deep breathing, and feel the expansion through the ribs, the diaphragm. Next, inhale through the nose and hold at the top of your breath. Open your mouth, exhale loud and long. Doing that again. Inhale through the nose and hold. Open your mouth, exhale loud and long. One more time. Back to in and out through the nose. And sometimes I get dizzy when I'm laying down, so be very careful if you're standing and you start to feel dizzy. And if you do feel dizzy, you can always just bend over slightly. Support your hands on your thighs. And then when you're ready, come back to standing. Let's take a deep inhale, hands up overhead. And come back down, just relax those hands by your side. Do that again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stretch up, keep stretching. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Ground both feet, lean over to the right side. Stretch the left side of your body. And sometimes as we start to get into our side stretching, we can actually hear the spine doing some realigning. Back up, relax those arms down. Inhale, this time left hand grabs on to right wrist. And then lean over to the left, right side of your body, getting a stretch. And back up to center. Bring it down. Let's hold those hands out front like they're holding a ball. And open the right arm so that we're looking towards the back. We're following our thumb. And back to center. And inhale as we open and turn and look over our left shoulder. Trying to keep those hips facing front and back. One more time, to the right. Exhale as you come forward. Inhale as you open and turn. And exhale, coming forward. Bringing it down just to roll through the shoulders. And we're going to step to the top of our mat with an inhale. Swan dive down. Flat back. Hands down. And we're going to bring our knees right to the ground. So we've moved into table position. And just a little cow. Open up the chest, inhale. And a cat. Round the spine, exhale. Inhale with your cow. Exhale into cat. One more time. Cow and cat. Move those hands just slightly forward. Flip onto your toes and press up into downward facing dog. Walking those legs slowly side to side, stretching the muscles down the back of the legs. Warming up. Holding, pressing your chest towards the mat, your tail up to the ceiling. Taking a few breaths in this position. If you need to ease up at all, you can bend those knees a little bit more. If not, stay in your extension, pressing through. And now we're going to come up onto our toes, bend the knees, look forward, and walk to the top of your mat. Flat back, inhale. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. Pausing for a few breaths. Inhale again. Forward fold. Flat back. Exhale down, stepping back both legs. And we're going to go through our first Chaturanga Tadasana. You can go into a high plank, or you can have knees down, low plank. Slowly lower down. Lifting the chest into Cobra as we just slowly start to warm up that back. Passing through table or right into downward facing dog. And again, if you need to walk out your dog, you can move those legs. You can hold them still and just remain in your press here. Tail up towards the ceiling.
a slight bend in the knees, and then lift the left leg up behind, three-legged dog. Bring that knee through and step foot between your hands, coming up into Crescent Lunge. So our feet are a little bit apart side to side to help with balance, rising up onto the ball of the back foot. If you don't like the hands up above, you can always bring them in front, or you can hold them at heart center. Lots of options. On your next inhale, turn that back foot, going into Warrior Two. Let's press the front thigh out to what is now the back of your mat, making sure the knee doesn't go past your toe. Arms are nice and strong, shoulders relax down. Tuck the pelvis slightly and squeeze those glutes. Flip that front palm, exalt your warrior. Reach up towards the ceiling and open that side body. Coming back to Warrior Two, bending your front arm and resting your forearm on the shelf of your thigh, and reaching your top arm up to the ceiling, getting a stretch on the second side of our body. Keeping those legs nice and strong. And back to Warrior Two. And now pivoting down, turning, stepping forward, inhale flat back. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold. Flat back. Hands down, stepping back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe you're starting to add push-ups. And as we lower down, we squeeze those elbows in. We can come a little higher. Maybe it's a higher cobra. Maybe you're starting to move into upward facing dog. And meeting in downward facing dog. Child's pose is always there for you. Modified downward dog or puppy is always there. Bend the knees slightly and now lift the right leg up behind. Three-legged dog. Bring the knee through, foot between your hands. Coming up into Crescent Lunge, second side. Rising up a little higher on the ball of the back foot. On our second side, Crescent Lunge, you can lean back a little bit more if that back is feeling ready, if it's warm. Slowly coming back, shoulders over hips. And on your next inhale, turning into Warrior Two. So heel arch alignment, making sure our front knee doesn't go past our front toes. Just checking the height of your arms and then relaxing your shoulders. Press the front thigh to the back of your mat. Tuck the pelvis. Flipping the front palm and exalting your warrior. Nice stretch. Front side of your body. Coming back to Warrior Two. Bending your front arm, place it on the shelf of your thigh, and reach that top arm up towards the ceiling. Always an option to go a little deeper into this stretch if it's in your practice. And slowly coming up, back into warrior two, and then cartwheel back down, step forward, flat back, and down. Inhale, hands to heart center, sit it back into chair pose. Squeezing inner thighs close together, knees close together. Try to open the chest a bit more by sitting with your shoulders coming up and back a little bit more. You can reach out. Breathe. Hands to heart center and fold down. Flat back. Exhale down, stepping back. Your choice of flow. Optional push-ups. Upward facing dog or staying with the cobra. And meeting in downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg up again. This time bend the knee and turn like a fire hydrant and just rotate that whole leg with the bent knee in one direction. Slow it down, opposite direction. Bring the knee into your nose and hold. Slowly lower down, but not quite hitting the mat. So we're hovering, bring it back up, and down, and up, and let's step it through. Bring the other foot up to meet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center, sitting down again. Chair pose with our arms extended or at heart center. Sometimes the challenging parts are where we're doing no movement, just resting in stillness. Bringing those hands back to heart center and exhale and go down. Flat back. Exhale down, stepping back. Chaturanga Tadasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up. And let's bend that knee. Fire hydrant, second side. And just rotating slowly in one direction. Coming to stillness and then reverse. Back up to three-legged dog. And then bring that knee into your nose and hold. Bring it to a hover. Not quite touching. Back up. Down and hover. Back up. And step through. Step forward with the second side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. And just rest here. Catching your breath. And we're going to go into dancer's pose. Natarajasana. This is where I will use or demonstrate how to use a yoga band or a towel. So grounding one foot, I'm going to ground my right foot and take my left foot slightly behind. And if I'm using a band or a towel, it's going to go over my ankle or maybe over the top of my foot. We just want to make sure that it's not slipping on us. So I take my leg back, I rest on the tip of my toes here, and every once in a while I can lift up my foot and balance. I can take my grip down a little lower onto my band. I can lift the leg a little higher. And now my right arm can reach up. And if you're not using the band, your other option is to take your left hand, swing it out, and grab the inside of your left foot. So standing tall in dancer's pose, or we can start to lean forward. And if you're feeling that your balance is challenged, try to focus on one thing that's not moving, and your standing knee has a slight bend. Slowly coming out of that pose, let's bring the knee forward, and let's just give it a hug. And back down. Ready to go second side. So again, we can choose to use the band, or if we're able to, grab onto our foot with our hand. So grounding and getting steady on now my left side. My right foot comes behind. I can start this pose with my arm out for balance. Eventually, I'm going to have it going up towards the ceiling. So again, progress at your pace, whether it's a once in a while balance, lifting the foot up a little higher, bringing that hand tall, or if you're doing this without a band, your right arm reaches back, palm up, and you grab the inside of your foot. Try to have those thighs squeezing close together. Staying here in your dancer's pose, or increasing intensity, leaning if you like. Breathing through the work. And slowly coming back up, releasing that foot, bring the knee forward. And stepping down. Inhale, swan dive. Inhale, hands down, our last flow. As many push-ups as you'd like. And let's go back into a child's pose. So let's take those knees wider than your hips. Sit those hips back. Arms can be extended. You can bring your forehead down onto the mat. You can always bring your arms along your sides. Whatever you need right now, just take a few minutes. Also a great time to grab a drink if you'd like. And when you're ready, we're going to come up and bring those feet in front. And sit up nice and tall. We're going to make use of our towels or our bands again. So if we strap them across the bottom of our feet and bring the toes back towards our nose. Inhale, sit tall, making sure you're on those sit bones, make any adjustments that you need to. And then exhaling, leaning forward from the hips. And sometimes when we have this little bit of assistance, we can increase our stretch a little bit, if that's what you want today.
slowly release. Maybe give those legs a little shake. Sit up tall again, inhale. And exhale, leaning forward from the hips, keep the chest open. And slowly bring it back. Release your band. We're going to keep our block close by or a pillow if you'd like. Just move those hips down a little bit on your mat. And we're going to bend both knees. We're just going to bring them in and go into a little ball. Slowly lower shoulders and head, and then one knee and then the other. Keeping my right knee bent, I'm going to extend my left leg, but first I'm going to get that strap going along the bottom of my foot. The knee stays slightly bent and the toes pull down towards my nose. First, going to open my left leg to the left side. So my right arm is going to go out beside me so that my shoulders stay locked onto the ground. And I slowly start to extend my left leg out to the side. My right hip stays down on the ground, just like my right shoulder. And here's where we can use a block if we feel like we're going to get out of control and maybe that leg is going to fall down. We've got the support of the strap, but we can also place that block, snuggle it up to our hip, and then it allows us to have a stopping point. If you'd rather not use that, you can bring the leg as far out as you can. Maybe, again, you're feeling some adjustments happening through the spine. Sometimes I get a few noises and cracks. I can hear them. Slowly bring that leg back up. And get ready to bring it over to the other side. I just need to adjust a little bit to give myself room. So, as we go over to the side, our hips are going to come with us this time, and we're going to stack left hip over right hip. But we're going to try to keep the left shoulder still on the ground. So my whole right thigh is now just resting on the ground. My left leg has come right over my body. And slowly come back. Bend the knee, and let's bring both knees into the chest and just do a rotation of the knees in opposite directions. Slow it down and go the other way. And then land both feet. Ready to take the strap along the bottom of your right foot. Let's have both hips glued to the floor, both shoulders glued to the floor as we slowly lower the right leg out to the right side. And again, if you need it, your block can go very close to your right hip on the outside, and it'll give you a little support if you feel you want to stop and not allow that leg to go all the way down. If you're not using the block, and if you don't have a couch in the way, you can take that leg out nice and wide, feeling a stretch through the hips and through the inner thigh. Check on your shoulders, check on your hips. Slowly bring that leg up. Let's switch our hands, keeping your right shoulder on the ground as we start to take that right leg. We can even extend the left leg here. If it felt weird on the other side having it bent, try this side, extending the left leg as the right leg comes right over. And now you feel those hips stack one on top of each other. So we want both shoulders connecting. We've allowed the right hip to lift. And slowly come back. Bend the knee, release your band, bring those knees in, hug up into a ball, and slowly bring it down. Extend those legs. Final Shavasana. Feet rolling out to the outsides of your mat, arms are a little wider than your mat, palms facing up. Soft eyes or closed eyes. Staying in Shavasana if you have time. Otherwise, starting to wiggle fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Bringing those knees in. Rolling on to one side or the other, pushing up with your top hand, keeping your gaze soft. Coming to seated position on your mat. Sitting up nice and tall, hands at heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. One more. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.